Hey there, filthy animals. Mr. Dirty back with another episode of the GTM show, and today we got Boston Market on the show, not from the frozen food department, actually from Boston Market itself. I went down there to pick myself up dinner tonight. It was supposed to be a meatloaf dinner and some of those little red skinned potatoes. As I'm headed in, I see this big sign that says they've got new chicken strips on the menu and a few new sides. So why not? So today we're going to be checking out what they're calling is the new oven crisp chicken strips. Baked is better is the slogan on these. These are limited time only, and it says crunch into the crispy golden crust of our new hand-breaded, all white, all breast meat, baked, not fried, oven crisp chicken strips while you still can. Now you can get this in like several different quantities. You can get it a la carte, you can get it as a wrap, probably on a salad. We went with the 4-piece meal, which is the one that's typically advertised for this at like $8 and change. I think with tax this ran us about $9. And it comes with 2 sides and a piece of cornbread. Now for our 2 sides, they didn't have my little red skinned potatoes. They had something that looked a lot like them. That was a new menu called Rotisserie potatoes. I guess maybe they're just putting them in like a tumble basket and throwing it up on the spit with the chickens rolling around. I have no idea how they're doing these, but yeah, they look pretty torched out, so I got some of those, and of course the little corkscrew macaroni and cheese. You guys ready to take a look? They give it to me in like a pod like this, where it's all separated out and keeps it nice and warm and not too steamed out and soggy. Let's pop the lid on this and take a peek. Now, boom shakalaka, there you go, right there. There's the main event right there, the oven crisp chicken strips. You can see those new rotisserie potatoes going on right there. Still red skin. Looks like the same potatoes, only they're not like sauteing them and putting little green flecks of things on there. It looks like, just like I said, looks torched out. Maybe from a tumble basket over a fire. And of course over here, you know, one of my favorite things is that corkscrew pasta with the cheese sauce. Yum, yum. But yeah, and they also offer you dipping sauces for the chicken. They offered me, I think it was a ranch, some kind of the barbecue sauce, and something else. I got the barbecue sauce. And of course, as I said, this did come with cornbread, and there you go. That's about, you know, how big of a piece of cornbread that they give you right there. All right, and there is a close-up shot of that crispy chicken right there. Very crispy, actually, even to the touch. Very crispy, very crumbly. You can even see what looks like lines from maybe like a wire, some sort of a wire, or a grill. Who knows what's going on there? Oven, maybe it's oven baked on some sort of a wire rack is what I'm thinking. Just looking at that. Man, smells great too. A nice fried chicken scent, little herbiness, little peppery. All right, guys, and there's a look at one of those rotisserie potatoes. Looking kind of plantain-like to me, especially with the darkened, burnt-up edges on it. And they're all like that too. Some of them a little more so than others. But this one I would say is properly well done, not too burnt. All right, and there's a close-up shot there of that pasta, that macaroni and cheese as they call it, but it's corkscrew with like a cheese sauce going on. This is pretty good stuff. Out of everything here, this is the one thing I've already had before. So I'm just going to go through, you know, just pummel through this one real quick. I give this a high 4 out of 5. It's not exactly 5 category because of the goopiness of this sauce. It's not like a very creamy sauce. It's like a thinned out kind of sauce. You'd have to let this sit out and air dry for it to like thicken and cake up. But it's more like a goopy cheese, what I would call like a liquid gold, something that would come out of a pouch. But it doesn't have that homemade, that, you know, Mama's mac and cheese right there. Definitely, unless your mama is making stuff like right out of a blue box. All right, moving on to the those potatoes real quick. Down the hatch with one of those since we've never had these before. That really just tastes like a oven roasted potato, to be honest with you. Down the hatch with another one real quick. Not a whole lot of additional seasoning on these. It's mostly, you know, a nice flavorful potato. Got the skin on it, so it's still got that kind of like real earthy kind of flavor going on too. But a lot of the flavor here is going off of the singeing and the caramelization of the way that these were cooked. Pretty good, but I definitely miss the old new red skin potatoes that they used to have. The ones that had a little bit of like parsley seasoning, something like that on there, and they were like sautéed, kind of tossed, and like a oil, lightly garlicky kind of thing going on. So I miss those a lot. They should bring them back. These aren't bad, but yeah, they're nothing to write home about. I'm going to give these a high 3 out of 5. All right, the cornbread. All right, not a bad cornbread. Slightly jiffy-like, kind of dry. Not a whole lot of moisture going on there. And definitely not very butter-like. So I'd give that like a, same thing, like a high 3 out of 5. All right, the star of the show, that crispy chicken. The oven crisp chicken strips right there. All right, I've been dying for this. I haven't eaten all day prior to this, so anywho. So I split it apart there. You can see, how much chicken. It is a very thin, like hammered out breast right there. If not like a fillet, this might be half a chicken breast or half a chicken tenderloin, I should say right here. Split off, take half here. We're gonna try this raw dog. Before we try it, what I got was their barbecue sauce down the hatch. That's pretty good, pretty flavorful. Got a lot of a zesty, like burst of flavor right off the bat. A lot of herbiness, a lot of seasoning, very peppery. The breading, like I said, it's very crumbly, where it's put on in like a shake and bake kind of style. It has that same kind of texture on the chew too, the breakup. If you've ever had like shake and bake at home, where you throw it in a bag, shake it up, and then you oven bake it instead of deep frying it. Same kind of thing going on here. So it's like a loose coat. It's definitely adhering to the chicken better than the homemade kind of stuff does, but yeah, still very crumbly. I'm not going to complain about that though, because oven baked chicken that's breaded and stuff like that, this is pretty much the outcome of it all. I'm not sure what the entire makeup of this breading is that's on here, but it definitely looks and kind of tastes like there might be a little bit of some sort of a cheese going on here, maybe like a Parmesan in the mix. This is definitely pretty fantastic on its own. I am going to go in on the barbecue sauce just to see if that steps it up any at all. Got a nice little coating going on there on the end. Down the hatch with that. That's some pretty tasty barbecue sauce too. Very sweet, very smoky, a little vinegary, kind of malty. If I wouldn't know better, I would say this is Sweet Baby Ray's. Okay, these chicken strips are definitely very solid in the barbecue sauce also. Even after the barbecue sauce fades away, you still get the flavor of that breading. Even when wet, it still stays crunchy. Yeah, I think they definitely have a winner on their hands here. I like it with and without the sauce. I would definitely pick this up again. It's not the greatest I've ever had in my life, but yeah, it's pretty far up there. I'm giving this an extraordinarily high 4 out of 5. The overall meal as itself, as a value, like I say, I paid like almost $9 for this, and that's without a drink. I think that's fair for this. So I would definitely suggest picking this up. This is, once again, the Oven Crisp Chicken Strips, new at Boston Market. Give it a shot. I'm Mr. Dirty. This is the GTM Show. Don't forget you can buy Knucklehead shirts and hoodies down in the description. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheRealMrDirty. And as always, get out of here and go have a rotten day.